Hey, Jurgen. It's been a crazy morning here for us. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. But I had intended to have just a real easy live stream sitting out by the fire pit as I worked on making sure that my new um, my new template works the way I expect it to. and then ran into so many technical difficulties it was ridiculous. You're seeing one of them still going on right now. Hey, but I am online. I just didn't think that there would be that much attendance considering so many people are at Quad State this year. And at this moment, or finishing up, or coming home from, I should say. And, it's the first firing of this fire pit of the season. I fired up the other one yesterday. And I just cannot get this camera to come online. It came online for a couple minutes and then it just disappeared. And I can't identify why. I'm starting to think it's the Mac. I cannot get this camera to be seen. It's got seen for a moment and then it disappeared again. And I don't know if it's caused by the cable going bad, the little dongle going bad. What's happening here? Oh, suddenly it says it sees something.
Might be that whole half of your USB-C doesn't work, the other half does.
Well, it also could be that the dongle has gotten bent and not working well. Yep, that's what it is. Yes, sir, Daniel, I am back. And it appears that I have a faulty little dongle here that my system, my GoPro connects into. So that's why I'm having technical difficulties with it. I did reboots, I did all sorts of things to try and figure it out, and come to find out, it's time to replace a cable or a dongle, one or the other. But we're back. I still don't have a real fire going yet. I know how to solve this problem. The problem is there's too much ash in the bottom of this fire pit. I didn't clean it out after the last burn. But I know how to do it. My son will have to hold his breath, but it'll work. Were you saving this purple paper? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't have to do anything. I see flames. Cool. Finally, the airflow was enough. I guess I didn't need to break out the big guns after all. I grabbed the leaf blower. All right. Good. We have fire. Blacksmith happy. So now you can just sit still, hope that the technology continues to serve me, enjoy the cold breakfast I now have, and chat with my friends. Hello, friends. Ah! Really? There we go. Yeah, that dongle's getting replaced. Yeah, it is a nice little fire pit for that. Especially because you get a good set of coals underneath that. And it is definitely good for grilling. Oh, did it go floof? And that's what he's suddenly. So I did cheat actually, Daniel. I put a couple of the fire starter sticks that come with these fire pit kits in on the fire, and then realized after they hadn't done anything for a while that maybe I just need to spread things out so that there's more air around everything, and that did the trick. Well, we are actually going to. Christina's getting ready to fire up the smoker if she hasn't already. So, we could have a party here if anybody wanted to bring a half a cow. Let's take those gloves off there. Those are my it's okay to touch a hot thing gloves. There we go. How pretty is that? I can change the camera angle just a little bit. For my satisfaction more than yours. It does capture the whole fire pit that way, but there we go. No, gloves do not count as cow, and we do not want to cook them right now. Wow, that took forever to get set up. I thought this would be the easy live stream. I was wrong. So yeah, I've got a new theme here. I even corrected my Instagram name on it up under social media. I'll have to do some more futzing around with it over the rest of this week so that it's fully ready for the next blacksmithing live stream next weekend. Because I don't, they're seen. So I bought this theme, right, and it came with a way to set it up instantly in Streamlabs OBS, which isn't what I'm using typically. I'm using just plain old OBS, but it's easy enough that if you import it into Streamlabs OBS, then OBS can actually import it from Streamlabs. Ridiculous amount of effort. But it works. And so I brought it in, and lo and behold, there are scenes that I had that no longer here. There are features that I don't quite understand that I need to fix. Like, for some reason, I have the ability to have this YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram thing up on here, and they literally created it 3 or 4 times, maybe even as much as 6 times for each of the 6 scenes that they have, when that's not necessary, as I learned from the previous theme I had. They have this stupid alert box that I don't even, well, I mean, it's not stupid, but it's completely, you guys tell me, if I turn on this thing, do you see it? Because if you do, it's kind of ugly, and I would never use it. So there's that. I'm turning it back off again. It's just a lot of little futzing around with this thing. Plus, I'm using Restream, and Restream gives me a bunch of this functionality, like the chat window, that I think looks great here, and looked great in the other. But of course, Streamlabs had their own chat window. It's things like that, silly things, that have to be fixed up. Yeah, yep. So Daniel, you were at Quad State, yes? Oh, heck yeah. See conferences from around the world. That would be an awesome opportunity. Jurgen, make it so. Hopefully this did not become the ASMR channel by me eating my breakfast. Well, Daniel, I guess we need to go to one of the conferences here on the West Coast then, don't we? Let's see here. How big is Quad State? I've never actually been yet, and I've never been to a blacksmithing conference before. So, um, my whole social circle in blacksmiths is right here. Well, I should say here and over on Yama's channel. Um, uh, Island Metal Forge. I was blanking out. I was trying to put island in the middle instead of at the beginning. Yeah, it ran out. The receiver ran out. All right, we can fix that. We can fix that. I do not understand why this receiver is not holding as much power as it used to. Transmitter is still holding plenty of power. Let's see, do I have another USB to USB-C, USB-C to USB-C cable, or I do. This one should do the trick just fine. Nope, that's lightning. Dag nabbit. I don't need those cables anymore. Yay, no more lightning cables. That's another lightning cable. I got 3 lightning cables in here because they would fail on me as often as they did. So happy to say that those can go away, but that means I need more C cables in here. All right, we'll steal the one from the camera. The camera's got plenty of charge at the moment. Last time I looked, it had 69%.
The internet might be out.
Really? I'm not on the internet, so it doesn't matter. I never use that because that internet sucks.
So it's good.
Starlink sucks.
Good thing to know that you don't use it when you're doing this.
Starlink sucks.
Oh, and it's back. Yeah, I see what you mean.
All right. Starlink is better than the alternatives here. It doesn't make it good. Especially not good for uploads. Which, guess what? Live streams is uploads. It's uploads lots. There we go. Now let's go ahead and wiggle this cable again. It's that kind of day. My goodness. Okay. At least the receiver's working again. You guys can hear me. Now if only you could see the fire. What kind of horse pucky is this? Your cats chew up your cables, huh? There we go. Camera's back. My goodness. This is some kind of clown show, isn't it? Hot glue is useful for fixing USB-C cables? Wow. I have to keep that in mind.
No.
No? My son says no. I must have misunderstood. That can't possibly be what you meant.
You'd forever have a dongle in your computer. You turn your Type-C port into a...
No, he was saying his USB-C cables, he has plenty of them, but his cats chew them up.
Oh, no. This is literally the end of the cable that's the problem. Not the actual cable.
No, this is the case of I just needed another one so I could charge my my receiver so they could actually hear me.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have done the next step up, which is just don't use the mic on here. But it's nice to be able to walk around and still be heard, so.
Yeah.
I'm not using the lavalier this time so they can hear all the animals and the birds and the conkers hit the roof. And hopefully not my head.
Nope. Not doing that right now.
My son is wrong. Hot glue is good for USB-C.
I don't...
No.
Maybe a break in the wires, but like not not where it goes into the port.
No, he's just re-gluing the spot where the cat chewed.
Yeah, that...
You know,
Yeah.
I guess it's a functional coating to the wire inside. As long as they don't cross the stream. So, I always promise to have a cheery fire to warm yourselves by. And it took a while, but there it is. It came on about the same time I got everything else working, so there. But I had a good week. I'm now not so worried about my company just trying to drain my brain and let me go. There was a concern with that. They had allowed a number of my peers a retention package to entice them to stay, and didn't offer the same to me at the time that they offered them. With me and my buddy being the two who really understood the data systems that everything's built upon for our particular product, and then my buddy up and leaving, and saying, that retention package wasn't worth much more to him than the paper it was written on. I was worried that, I was already worried that I had a time limit. But they realized that, now they went down from 2 people that understood the system to 1, and they brought to me a retention package. I pushed back a little bit because the retention package was all carrot and no stick, meaning it was something dangled out in front of me that if in 6 months they were to let me go, I still wouldn't get. It didn't prevent them. It didn't give them any incentive to keep me. Only me incentive to stay. And so I pushed back a little, and they saw the wisdom of my counter, and we came to a satisfactory agreement, such that now I don't feel like I need to constantly be looking for another job for that moment when everything falls to hell. So a big relief, and I got to actually get some fun work done, and so yeah, it was a good week. Good week. Good week, and then we get out here yesterday, and I get the first fire pit fired up, and we saw just how much the deck needed to be swept and cleaned, and how much of the deck was covered in walnuts, which I had been worried that we were going to have another bad year for walnuts. And lo and behold, no, we're having a great year for walnuts. So we picked up, I don't know how big that tub is we filled halfway up, but we filled a tub up pretty good, and I wouldn't be surprised if we can actually fill the thing all the way up by the time the season's over. But it's a big basket of, like the kind of basket that's often used as a laundry basket. That kind of big tub. So quite a lot of walnuts. I got a lot of shelling to do if I want to have just the walnut meat pulled out of there and take up less space in the deep freeze. Deep freezing is a really good way of preserving the nuts and preventing any mold or mildew, or no, mold I think is the right word, spores from growing. So, oh, see, the problem, Daniel, maybe I'm wrong, but a friend of mine who we gave some to, she was also not a fan of walnuts until she had the walnuts we have, which are, fresh and still actually have a little bit of, we don't dry them out, when we go to put them into the freezer. Instead, if you want them dried when you're ready to use them, then throw them in the toaster oven for a little bit and toast them up. And that way you got really fresh walnuts instead of these dried things that are in bags for God knows how long on the store shelves. They're just incredible. I mean, I remember eating, shelling, nuts at my grandparents' house. It was one of the fun things to do, right? As a kid, be able to shell these nuts, but who knows how long those nuts were just sitting there waiting for me to show up. So, look at that. That is a good fire going on there. Let's see if I can move things around without having the camera go off again. Oh, it went off. It'll come back on here in a minute as soon as I get the right leverage on it, and that means that it is definitely the adapter. It's a USB-A to USB-C adapter. I've got another one or two upstairs. They're cheap. The issue is that my powered hub is USB-A. I don't know why I chinched out instead of getting one that's USB-C, but that's what I did. Maybe it's just what I could find, or maybe it was because it was super cheap and it's all I really needed. Oh, I love pecans, yeah. Or are they pecans? Pecan. Who knows? I always heard pecans, so that's the way I always say it. And I was going over here when I don't need to go over here. I need to go back where I was, move the grate, grab the hot hands, Be very quick about picking this stuff up because it's hot, hot, hot. Go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And if I really want to fire it back up again, we just go to the old blacksmith trick of forced air. Who doesn't like forced air? This is where Jared has to close his eyes so he doesn't get dust in his eyes. There you go, Jared. And blow out all this ash that's in the way. Who doesn't like forced air? Forced air's the bomb. There we go. And there went the fire cam again. We'll fix that in a second. There we go. Came back on its own. Oh, they said hi, Jared.
Hi.
That's his bedroom there. That's my beer brewing barn. What, dear? Why? Yeah, great. That wasn't black smoke. That was ash.
What happened?
He used the leaf blower.
It needed a boost.
When you're done with that, I need you to go upstairs on the balcony and look over at the field of sunflowers in Shelley's lawn.
Oh wow, you think she would let me come over and get a head or two? I'll bring her some walnuts.
That's between you and her.
She's not a nice person all the time, but you know.
She's not a terrible person all the time, I would think. Hopefully.
She is a bigot.
Oh well, then okay. No.
She doesn't like Luis and family, and there's absolutely nothing to not like about Luis and family.
Yeah, exactly.
But she doesn't like Luis and family because they're Mexican.
That's stupid. We literally get taught don't judge a book by its cover, and you literally didn't learn that.
Some people never learn.
Yeah.
Come on, Daniel. Maybe you can't make it to your own country, but international travel's, you know, awesome. Pecans, says Daniel.
Oh, God.
Well, I have to admit that, you know, I spent a lot of time around Southerners. I lived just south, you know, what, 30 minutes south of the Georgia border. So, which is also like 30 minutes south of the Alabama border if you're in the right place. The Blade Museum. Jared, they said my shirt and your pants were so similar in the that they weren't sure it wasn't the same person.
Funny.
Christina came out worried that we had a problem because of all the black smoke. Jared, would you get me a monster, please? You can put that in the fire.
Oh, yeah, this. I didn't think this far ahead. Do I touch this?
Yeah, it's hot. I mean, it's not hot.
Okay.
That's the whole point of it being a spring.
Okay.
Is the spring, even if the rod gets hot,
Yeah.
the spring will be less likely to be hot because it's got the air all around it. Yeah, absolutely. I got mine, my passport, I don't know, a few years ago now, but it came in real handy a year and a half ago when the company I was working for, and would happily go back to again, to be honest. And I now know they'll happily have me back too. Had a company conference for engineering and professional services in Dublin, Ireland. And that was a fun trip. It could have been even funner, I'm sure, but it was a fun trip. You know, the issue, again, is it would be even more fun if I were able to have been there for a week longer. I am not a good person to go without sleep because I don't get restful sleep to begin with. So,
I didn't know if you asked for a specific one.
No.
Do you want peach or apple?
give me the apple one, please.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, give me the
No,
peach one.
don't take the apple one.
You were going to all either way, weren't you?
No. It was, I actually did want the apple one since it's the last one, but no. You chose it, so you get it.
But yeah, it was very cool to see an old world city again. I lived in Amsterdam. As a kid, I wasn't fully aware that I was living in Amsterdam. I was aware that I was living in Holland, and I was aware that I was living in a historic place. But somehow it kind of slipped my mind that it was Amsterdam, or maybe I did know it was Amsterdam, but I didn't have the context about that most people have put Amsterdam in. Diphenhydramine. Okay. Diphenhydramine. That's not the same thing as what's in Benadryl, is it? Because the biggest problem is I can sleep. I could fall asleep pretty much any time. Too close to other keys. Yeah, it's right next to that A that you were typing. The good news is that it didn't remove it from the chat, so we're good. I was able to still read it. But what I did have was enough context to know that it was a historic place to be. It was very cool to see, them actually do have cobblestone roads and to take the time to turn the cobbles every so often. To have the outdoor markets that we could go to, where I got introduced to one of my favorites, still to this day, cookies, or what's that called, dear Jared? The cookie with the caramel in the middle of two wafers, the stroopwafel. Oh, and I can always use an antihistamine. I don't know how in the world, but I hit about age 30 and I was suddenly allergic to things. Anyway, for 1 or 2 nights. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the Benadryl. I agree with you that if I use Benadryl, it'll work for a couple of nights, and then not so great for helping me sleep after that. But yeah, every now and then I'll take that to help. And typically I wait until I'm about right now where allergies are starting to kick up, and I'm getting all stuffed up anyway, and bending over makes my head hurt and things like that. So might be a good thing to do tonight. Um, but yeah, going to Dublin was similar in that, I got to you still had the small roads, you still had the buildings that weren't ginormous, and yet you could tell this was a densely packed area. It was a very neat experience. Plus, I could go and pub hop every now and then. Yeah, stroofwafel. They're delicious. Uh, they are basically two waffle cookies that have a layer of, um, a sticky sweet substance in the middle, typically caramel. It can be, a thickened maple syrup or thickened honey, so not runny, but thicker. And they used to sell them as just something you would walk up to a vendor and buy them fresh made in front of you. Now you just go to, Whole Foods, or not Whole Foods, sorry. Go to a lot of grocers around here carry them now, but I always saw them at World Market. What's the other? Cost Plus World Market, I think is the name of the full name of the place, and they always sell them in what looks like a cube-shaped box, maybe a slightly taller than cube-shaped box, um, and yeah, delicious. They're really good if you take them and you got your nice hot coffee and you set this stroopwafel on top and let the heat of the coffee warm it. Sort of, except funnel cake is more like pouring uh, uh, pancake batter into hot oil. This is more like, um, yeah, this definitely is more like, I know what it's like. Uh, the ice cream cones, the waffle cones, that's it. It's like waffle cones that never get hard and crunchy. There you go. Made just like those. Oh, do you love the fact that I got my socks on with my slides? That annoys so many people out there. That's funny. For me, there's extremely valid reason, and it has nothing to do with whether or not I like the feel of slides on bare feet, or the fact that I don't want to show my bare toes off to the internet and start getting my feet rated. It's because I put on mucking boots, you know, and frankly, putting a bare foot into one of those is just a recipe for a struggle and sore hips trying to get them back off again. Pancake batter with a little more oil. There you go. And here's the actual spelling if you want to look them up. Yes. Yep. There's a bunch of different things that you can. Anise. Wow, I've never had one with anise. I would love that. I love anise. Every time I go to an Indian restaurant, one of my favorite things is at the end you go pay to leave, and there are these little anise seeds with little candies. Yep, if any part of that sounds delicious, you'll probably enjoy it. And clearly, Jurgen's had them before. Do they still sell them as a street vendor food, Jurgen? Let's see, when was I there in Amsterdam? It had to be... Oh, I know exactly when, because one of the things that stood out in my mind about it was we were there when we were celebrating the bicentennial and collecting the bicentennial quarters.
Are those the ones that had the bison on them? Or no?
Mm-mm. Look them up.
I remember a bison.
Now, bicentennial would have been when I was 8 years old. And, Dad's teaching me what the bicentennial means here in the States, and that it was the celebration of 200 years of the country having been a country. Not how long we were actually, there were people in the Americas, but literally how long the United States was in existence as that entity. First 13 colonies and all that stuff. Let me see.
Looks like it's.
Yep. That's one. I think there were several. So take a look. I could be wrong, but I think there were several having to celebrate the 13 colonies that started the whole thing. Your lasagna tastes like bad licorice. Now, that I don't think, no. I love licorice. But a lasagna tasting like licorice, no, thank you. Well, you know what? If it tastes... See, I do love fennel and anise. So I just don't know that I've ever thought about it. Most of the time when I think about that being done, it's done by the Greeks or the Turks. And I do love their food too. So, oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm torn now. I'd have to try it. You know what? That's it, Daniel. I just have to come visit and try your lasagna. Now I got to see what Jurgen said. Lots of street food stands in the cities, especially in the Netherlands, but also here. We got famous Christmas market here. See, I need to come visit you too, Jurgen. Essen. The ancient Romans called it Ascendia. Ah. Oh, that's right. When we declared independence, we hadn't even become a nation at that point yet. Thank you for that clarification. But anyway, the part that's why that sticks out in my mind in that particular year is both, of course, it's notable for an American, U.S. citizen, I should say, but I also remember that we were living in a duplex. Now, the weird thing about this duplex was they didn't split it upstairs, downstairs. They split it vertically. So that was cool. But another notable thing about this duplex, and the old couple that lived in the left side was really sweet on me and my brother. They basically became like surrogate grandparents, and they loved us trying to teach us Dutch. But on the building was a plaque that said that it had been built in 1676. So the country, that building was 100 years older than my country's Declaration of Independence. And that just kind of like reframed my whole way of thinking about U.S. exceptionalism, It also made it so I realized there was way more history to consider than that which, most of the time gets taught here in the States. And it just reframed my whole way of thinking about everything, I think, at that point. And I remember having a conversation with my dad saying, why do we cling to these fake lines we draw on maps so hard that we want to identify ourselves and exclude others simply by which side of that line they're on. And so, that I think that says a lot about an 8 to 10-year-old, that that's the way I was thinking it already at that point. Lasagna al forno. Now I'm going to go look it up and use up all of my RAM by just trying to launch Edge browser. All right, I got the recipe. Onion, garlic, basil, oregano, Italian sausage, parsley, salt and pepper. Of course, tomato sauce is in there and the various cheeses. And lasagna. I don't see anything here about fennel or anise, but I'll just take your word for it. I'll just have to come and try it. It's just the way it is. There you go, guys. Even on a messed up live stream where I'm not blacksmithing and there's only 3 of us, it seems, hanging out in here, we still hit 100 messages. So River Ruhr. Am I saying that right? Ruhr? Well, let me go look up a recipe explicitly that has fennel and anise. Yep, there's definitely oregano, bay leaves. Nope, not that one. Next one. Big Oven says. Nope, they don't have it either. Well, now I'm getting disappointed. Nope. Wow. All right, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of Al Forno. Let's see what comes back. Here's one with basil and fennel. Wow. Somebody said that it's a teaspoon and a half, but they've added as much as 3 teaspoons. I'll tell you what, it definitely sounds like it'd be worth a try. Fennel, I know, would be not an unusual thing to add. So, Ruhr. All right, let's go look that up. So, we're looking for a company called Just Adam. Okay. Essen, R-U-H-R. Essen, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. Second largest city of the Ruhr, the largest urban area in Germany. Is often regarded as Ruhr's secret capital due to its central location in the region. Part of the cultural area of the Rhineland. Okay. I think I've had wine from there. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a great place to visit and spend some time in. You got your the Folkwang University of the Arts and the Red Dot Industrial there it is. Red Dot Industrial Product Design Award. There's lots going on there. That's a happening place. Croup. Now I gotta know what croup is. Oh, wait a minute. I know croup. Okay. Steelworks. Foundry. Yeah, I could spend a couple of weeks there for sure. Yeah. Bad things happened. Who was it? IBM supported uh, the um, that effort in a bad way. Changed their mind. Who else? There was lots of folks that supported that effort in a bad way, and we should never forget that stuff. But I'm also not going to spend time thinking about it too much. Other than that, not in a modern context, anyway. Yes, that's right. The Krupp coffee maker. Now, yes, that makes more sense. But I think I'd have more fun visiting the steelworks. Krupp, I think is how we always hear it over here. You got lots going on there. My fire moved. Time to lose the that camera feed for a second. I really need to make a fire poker. So you guys know that's going to be coming down the road for blacksmithing projects. Get back on there. I didn't give you permission to fall like that. I swear this fire pit really could use some, I don't know, holes in the bottom or something. It doesn't have, you know what it is? We just really need to clean it out because it has lifts, if you will, angle iron that was I welded into the bottom to have a way to have airflow across the logs. I just now noticed them. I've been using the logs themselves for that. My coal rake is a 2-inch by 1/8 inch flat bar that I just bent the end on. That's right. Ford was the bad guys at that point. Make a fire poker. With a nice little bit of hook on the end. That way I can grab them and pull them back towards me too. So what are you guys up to today, this evening, whatever you want to be talking about? Your weekend's coming to an end there, Jurgen, isn't it? Did you do anything fun for the weekend? Kitchen Kung Fu? You and your wife working too tight a kitchen there? I can tell you we definitely have too small of a kitchen. It feels big, but it's only because it's an open floor plan. Yep. That's awesome. I'd say that if I'm not burned out, I enjoy cooking. But, sometimes that food will bite you back. You really do have to take and threaten it with a knife or two to keep it under control. So just be careful. The best you're probably doing is bringing a knife to a food fight. Well, gents, I think I'm gonna black belt in Asian cooking. Very nice. I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream just so I can start putting away all this tech that's giving me trouble and address the technical issues and be able to move around the fire a little bit more and get on with the other chores I have to do today. For me, I think biggest chores are, again, giving my back and legs and knees a workout. None of them are happy about it. Picking up walnuts. And then I'm sure there's honeydews I have to take care of. Yesterday, we moved, let's see, 2 enclosures. One is one of those plastic and aluminum greenhouses, a clear plastic and aluminum frame greenhouse. We moved that. We moved another cover to another little enclosure, just one of the, little tent style ones, over the top of a bunch of wood pellets that we got. And we moved horse mats and wooden pallets, and we did a lot of moving of things around, and I have a suspicion our moving of things isn't done yet. Yep, I agree with you. Cooking is definitely something that I could get into, but it would take me changing priorities to be able to get into it, because I've enjoyed cooking in the past. It's fun to me to think about the ingredients, to all of it, the measuring out, all of it is fun. It's just most of the time my priorities are get this work done. Oh, wait a minute, I need to eat. And that's, that doesn't bode well for taking and thinking about the time that it takes to do the cooking part, the prepping and the cooking. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't just shut down. Hey, Adam. I was just about to sign off. Had a heck of a tech challenge today for the simpler live stream. I was out here just trying to get my fire pit up and running and have 2 cameras instead of the 1 for the fire pit. And I'll tell you what, that second camera gave me such a fit. It was crazy. And come to find out, I've got a bad dongle. I've got to throw this dongle away. Every time I move it just a little bit, out goes the camera. Move it again. Back comes camera. So I now know it is definitely that dongle got bent or something. There's a loose wire in there. Ooh, cast iron wok. That's nice. Gotcha. Yeah, you didn't have to do the live stream today, so I didn't know what you were up to. Damn caps lock. Daniel, say it again. Or actually, this time he probably meant it. Forging a wok's not a bad idea, but I already own one, so somebody else pressed it for me, so. There are turkeys behind me, or is that in front of me?
Right.
Okay. I could have. The sound I could have sworn came from behind me. That's why.
Nope. They have like a small recharge or something for it.
Go 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 go!
Like a small recharge.
That didn't work.
Now that did. Gobble, gobble, gobble. That didn't work either.
Nope.
Go 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 go!
Dad's got it.
Pretty birds. Pretty, pretty, pretty birds. All right.
Are you going hunting and gathering?
Yes. I'm gonna get. We need milk because I'm down to 1/2 gallon.
Say hi to the wife.
Hi to the wife.
Everybody saw her. I know they did. Well, there she is.
Dad's got a cup of.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob. Dad's got a cup of root beer. I'm gonna
Okay.
go get milk, vegetables, something to have with the pork loin cooking slowly.
Is that what you're smoking as a pork loin?
Yeah, in 2 different flavors.
Oh,
Yep.
2 pork loins. So we have 2 dinners.
I had 1 pork loin this big.
Okay.
Split it in half.
Oh, very nice. Very large.
One becomes 2. Just sucking my
I'll
brain.
stop at
Not,
Coastal.
it's going to die. Starvation.
Starvation.
Look, it died.
No.
I know, it's a good
What's up?
I'm gonna go.
What's that?
Adam was saying if you hang up your walk, you can say, what's up?
Hang up your walk.
Hang up your walk.
What's that?
You know, hanging up your walk. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stop by Coastal and get some
Adam says
chicken
hi
starter.
from
Hi,
down
Adam.
under.
From down under. We gotta come visit you
We got to come visit you, she said.
because I want to dive.
She wants to dive with great whites.
No, I just want to dive. I'm not afraid of great whites.
She wants to dive with great whites.
I'm not afraid of them. Jesus, people are like, you can go into the water without chumming around you and just be gentle. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple of bags of all flock while I get some chicken starter
Okay.
for the babies
Okay.
and probably a better feeder for them.
Yeah. See, the biggest problem is Mama steps on it.
Like I said,
So if you want a
feeder.
better feeder, you basically need to have the jar back again so that she can't walk on it.
So, all right, be back.
She said he's in crocodile country, not diving country.
Oh, you mean where you run zigzag?
Yeah, zigzag, like that's going to prevent them from getting you.
That's what they teach you in Miami.
I thought the gators go zigzag and you go straight.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan, Daniel. As long as you're willing to live off the land, right? You got your walk, we'll travel.
Crocodiles, by the way, in Florida.
Yeah, there's crocs in Florida too.
No, I'm saying that I thought you would go straight.
Have fun.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see it though in my mind's eye. You have the walk on your back, and basically that protects you from the slings and arrows. You can't be shot from behind. Hey, what? I've played too many video games.
If you walk on your back.
No, you have a walk on your
Oh,
back.
if you have a walk on your back. Okay.
Hi, Bruce.
Where is he?
Forge dog's coming. He's gonna walk too close to the. There he is. Everybody sees him. Told you he's gonna walk too close to the fire.
No, he's fine. Look at him.
Or on your head like a hat. There you go. Hi, Bruce. Good boy. All the noisies. I love it. And the train goes by every now and then. Walking too close to the fire. It's been a good morning. Oh, there's a 5-gallon bucket we could use.
Yeah, you're right.
We were trying to figure out where to get a 5-gallon bucket. If we had gotten a 5-gallon bucket, we would have needed 3 of them because that's about how many we filled up yesterday
Yeah.
with walnuts. For those who are newcomers in the chat. And we got a bunch more because we did a great job of cleaning off the deck. Jared swept and swept and swept, and we picked up all the walnuts. And now we need to go back and do it again. Let's lose the fire cam for a minute again while I move things around because I can't leave well enough alone. What's the point of having a fire pit if you can't play with the fire? Sorry about that. Fell right off my shirt. Wow. Here's my impromptu fire poker. And now it looks almost like a fire poker.
You broke?
No, I didn't. I bent it. That's a whole different thing altogether. That's called metal forming.
How are we going to make marshmallows now?
Need some more metal forming. Come on, you can think harder than that. There we go. Oh, nope, that's a problem. Now I'm bending it and I am breaking it. What I need is take it over to my anvil and do the bending there. Would have been better if I just grabbed my gloves.
Yeah, probably.
Come on, get on the little ridges. There we go. Getting there. Got it. There we go. Got a nice bed of coals I could cook over for sure. Now, where's the marshmallows, Jared?
I don't think we have any. You okay, Bruce? Stop eating the grass.
Look at all these coals. I could definitely smith with these coals. All right. That is a failed fire poker. Again, would have been better just to break out. Come on. Smoke in my eyes. There we go. Woo! I don't know what kind of wood that is, but it's definitely aromatic. Got a really nice flavor. It says that it is Just firewood. That's all it says. Firewood. Product of Canada. Warnings all over it. Lots of California telling me that I'm going to have cancer from it.
Oh yeah, it's California. Everything from California gives cancer.
Yes, everything from California gives you cancer.
Everything. Water too.
Probably.
The air you breathe.
All right, scrolling back to see all that's going on here.
Bruce has no clue what that is.
Only because he can't see that far. He just knows it moves.
And it's huge.
You were putting time out too, Chatty? I don't know about that. Oh, no, Daniel. It was the all caps message. It's okay if you mix in a few lower caps in with it, but all caps, that'll take you out every time.
Okay. Love you too.
Love you too. Yeah.
No clue what it is.
Yes. Actually, we created something that would have probably caused us more harm than would have probably caused us harm if we hadn't read something just this week and weren't so slow about actually. We don't drink nearly as much as our stock makes it seem like we might. So one of the things we had learned next door is a distillery that I don't think they're actually in production at next door anymore. They have the stills and stuff. I've got to find out one day. But the distillers, one of the things they used to do was gather green walnuts from my tree. And one year that they did that, I had like no walnut harvest at all afterwards because they came and took everything. And I had no idea just how many walnuts this tree would produce. Once I did, they haven't come back to ask for any more because I think things just went south around the same time as COVID. Anyway,
Well, they can't distill over there.
they're not allowed to anymore.
They're not allowed, they were never.
They were never allowed to distill there, but
they were never allowed to distill there, but they distilled there and they got caught because that's historical land.
it is.
And because it's historical land, you can, one, not live on it, and two, there was some other rule that allowed it so that they couldn't distill on it either.
Well, anyway,
They have to also
they goofed
show it off
they
every
goofed stuff
once
up.
in a while.
Right, they goofed stuff up, and they even built a barn there. They weren't allowed to do that either.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of things they weren't allowed to do. They were actually using that barn as a venue, and that's fine, except that they were doing it way more often than they were allowed to do, because it's supposed to be open to the public, but it's not supposed to be open the way they were doing it. Anyway, it's a weird thing about the agricultural preservation zone we have here. Anyway, point being, when they gathered all those walnuts, they took them back and they used them in the process of their distilling walnut flavored walnut liqueur, and it was delicious. It was just like having walnut syrup. I would have gotten more from them over time if I could have. Sadly, it never happened. You know, and such is life sometimes. So we thought we'd give it a try. The only difference we didn't realize at the time was the distilling process is vital. You can't do like you can with like other ingredients, you know, dried fruits or fennel or anise or things like that, where you just put it into a strong, a good grade of vodka and just let it infuse into the vodka. We did that with the walnuts, and it turns out the blackening from walnuts, walnut ink, as you were saying, is caused by iodine. And if we had actually drank that, now I had sips of it just to see what it tastes like, and it did taste really good. But I didn't drink it because I'm not a heavy drinker, and we didn't bother. if we had, we could have possibly caused ourselves some trouble, because it did become a very, very brown liquid. And come to find out, it's probably because it pulled out the, the walnut oils. The walnut oils, though, contains iodine, and drinking too much of that would have gotten you not only silly, but possibly caused you thyroid problems. So walnut oil, yeah. I mean, there's so much about this tree. I've got 2 more walnuts that have sprouted recently that we're going to end up planting. And we're going to keep doing that, because walnut is actually not something you see nearly as much of here as you could. Walnuts seems to do real great here. And the wood is from walnut is as well as, is loved. The the uh, the finish from the walnuts themselves would be I'd need to figure out how to make it, but yeah, it would be good. I don't know if I should throw away the infused vodka, or if there's something I can do with it. I'm definitely not going to be distilling. That's not something I have. What? Oh, you're gonna try to let them out? Oh, heck yeah. Go out and visit Rob as well. Absolutely. Yeah, it'll happen. There's just some life things happening right now that makes the such travel kind of hard, and but it'll happen. Some things have improved. Other things will need to improve, so that my wife could travel with me. But it'll happen. All right, folks. I'm gonna stop babbling here, and I'm gonna start collecting walnuts, and see how many more we can collect today. And you guys enjoy your evenings or the rest of your weekends. And we'll catch you at the forge next week. Love and light, everybody.